All right, folks, we're back here, and the phone overheated. We were out in the sun, so we're going to try to stay more so in the shade. And, ma'am, again, we are here. I'm sorry, Baroness. Where are we at again? If people are just tuning in for the first time.
So we are in St. David here, and this is the Society for Creative Anachronisms Crown Tournament. It is our 107th Crown Tournament.
Wow.
Our kingdom was founded in 1970.
That's a long time ago.
And that is, it is 50 some years. The society is 59 years old. And this tournament, you'll hear the audience in the background there. They are applauding. There's the winner of that match. This is our own unique martial art where the fighters fight in real armor with rattan and duct tape swords, so that although the blows are physically hard and hitting, they are not like a real sword that would cut you. And we have Sir Roger also here to talk to you about the fighting, and he has more expertise than I.
So the essentials of the fighting are that the legal targets are from 2 inches above the knee to 2 inches above the wrist. Any blow that is judged to have been doing enough damage through a chain armor of approximately the 10th century.
Wow.
Is a good blow.
Huh.
What we have out here is an interesting fight because we have our Lady Knight just leaving the field there. I don't know who won, but
okay. So Lady Knight was fighting.
Yeah. So she's one of our best fighters, and she's here in the quarterfinals. And we're kind of rooting for her because we've never had a queen by our own right, but we did have one today.
Wow, very cool. So what do you think about that? Would you be excited to see the queen win?
Absolutely.
All right.
The society has had one queen in her own right, and our kingdom has not.
Okay.
And so Sir Valora is one of our dearest members, and she is a very interesting cool person. And she, you see right here is Sir Cosmo in the green, and Duke Ivan in the gold. And Duke Ivan is not competing today. He is balancing out the making an even number of fighters. And so he is called the dreaded Bai fighter, and the Bai does not take a win, but they do provide the challenge. And so they want to make sure that we're evenly matched all the way to the end for the tournament. So if they start out with 37 fighters, they add a Bai fighter to make it 38. And then they work their way down by double elimination.
All right, and this is an event that's, by the way, if you're tuning in, we're down at the Holy Trinity Monastery in St. David, and they have an event. A lot of us various spaces around here. I'm just going to try to get out here and get some of this for a little bit. I don't want to stay too long in the sun with the overheating problem we had with the iPhone issue, but wanted to come out here. But this is Holy Trinity Monastery in St. David. They offer event space for all different kinds of groups, and this particular group is the first time we are covering. It's a big international group, and they obviously you have to be prior 1700s to be a part of this community, basically. So it's Middle Ages is kind of the idea behind the costume, the living, the various clothing and weapons, armor. All comes from the mid-century, or the medieval times, really.
That's right. Medieval times and from anywhere in the world. So my persona, as we call it, is I'm an 11th century Norman.
Okay, 11th century.
My wife is a 14th century Turkish persona. So
wow.
She is gracious enough to help me with my costuming because I have no talent in that area, and I do the fighting.
Okay, well, great. That's a nice arrangement, sounds like.
It works out for us.
All right.
So it looks like we got a good match here. Sir Cosmo just won on the left in the green.
Huh. Okay. So
he has an interesting weapon for him too, because what he has in his left hand is something that's called a madu or modus, which has a stabbing point on each end. So instead of having a shield, he's elected to go out with 2 weapons. So he can it can tend to confuse another fighter sometimes. So
interesting. And then the other fighter is chosen to have a shield.
Very, very traditional kind of a kit, a sword and a shield with his full armor. That's Duke Ivan. He has won this tournament 2 times before. And as you can tell, the shield is actually a pretty big advantage in a singles fight because he can cover a lot of his body to prevent himself from being hit.
That was fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't realize it. think the cloud cover will help you now.
Yes, that's great. We got some cloud cover.
Brought the shade.
Oh, great. Baroness has brought a umbrella. Yeah, parasol. Yeah, looks like it's made of wood.
And cloth, just to help with the shade when we don't have a tree handy.
Right, yeah, that comes in handy out here.
You will also see canvas pavilions all the way around the fighting area and different styles. But
Yes, there is.
But the blue and gold are kingdom colors, so over there are the kingdom shade pavilions. And then other households and groups make up all the other shades around. So we even have some modern pop-ups just because they provide shade.
Okay, yeah, we've got some, people that were sharing their shade with us earlier, cooling down this phone right behind us.
Yes.
And now the fighting begins. Once again,
they're going at it. A fight like this with one person with a shield and one person with a longer weapon will sometimes turn into a cat and mouse event. The person with the shield wants to slip past the stabbing point of that long weapon and get inside. The knight in green on the right wants to prevent that happening and stay at range. So you'll see them try to stay away from each other. He stabbed him in the face.
wow, that's
So there's a victory.
okay. So you can stab someone in the face, you pretty much guarantee a win.
That's it. That's an automatic kill right there.
Okay. Well, there you have it. And so now the winner of this round will advance, right?
He will advance. So now we're down to the last 4 fighters, it looks like. So we'll have 2 of them have no losses. So we'll have at least 3 more rounds in the tournament. So they'll pair people up.
And this event is going on tomorrow as well. Is that correct?
That's correct. Tomorrow there'll be the Champions Tournament, a Warlord Tournament, which there'll be a Rapier Tournament, and we call this type of fighting, we call it hard suit fighting typically, or heavy combat. So there'll be tournaments both in this form and in a Rapier form tomorrow to determine who is the Queen's Rapier Champion and who is the Kingdom Warlord. So that's another prestigious tournament.
And is there a cost involved? Can the public come down and view this, or is this something that's just for members only?
The public can come down. You do not have to have a membership. We do split the cost of renting the site, other things like that, by paying what we call a site fee. So, like today, to be on here for the day is $20. And anybody's welcome to come and watch. Participation, like to be able to fight, you have to go through an authorization process and things like that. So you can't just show up and fight. You can show up and learn all about it, and certainly you'd be welcome to fight.
All right.
And you don't have to be in costume or medieval clothing. You can come in your regular clothing and just say, hey, we're interested in what you're all doing, and we wanted to come and take a look. And we have what we call our welcome wagon, our chatelaine, and they will be happy to answer questions and walk people around and kind of give them a tour of what's all happening.
All right, very good. Is there food down here? Can people purchase food?
On this particular event, we do not have vendors of food, but
okay,
we bring our own, and we make our own feasts. We have an evening party this evening where there will be food provided.
All right.
And that is for everyone who attends the party, and it's a celebration of the tournament and our new prince and princess, or princess and prince.
And one of the best things about the current Middle Ages is that we try to emphasize all the virtues that were espoused in the Middle Ages, and hospitality, and I would say generosity are those. And so I can never imagine a person coming to an event and not being able to find shade, something to drink, and something to eat there on just food.
All right. And I know, too, also the monastery here has monk bread. In fact, I stopped in there and got some monk bread. That's kind of a ancient, I guess, way of making bread. And so they have it for sale at the gift shop. I'm not sure if that's going to be open, how late it is today, but they do have the monk bread as well.
And I don't know if Mr. Swagerland mentioned it. We're here at a fighting tournament today, and this is a spectacular thing that happens.
Yes.
But about 80% of the members of the club are non-fighters. The majority of participation is in the arts and sciences and services. Mr. Swagerland is humble to tell you, but she actually has both the highest level service award and the highest level arts and sciences award.
Wow.
And the highest level award for chivalry in the kingdom, the line of 80 dollars.
But he also is a lion of 80.
Exactly that way. And her arts that she's most known for is actually cooking.
Yes.
That's right. So
Wow.
finding medieval recipes and recreating them.
Very cool. Yeah. What kind of things would stand out, you know, when you first got in this and in the cooking of medieval food? Was there anything that stood out to you?
Oh, absolutely. Pork. I love pies, savory pies, actually. So pork pie and egg and onion tart. Saffron is a spice that is very expensive still, modernly, but in the Middle Ages it was as well. And you don't need a lot. A little pinch will do ya. But saffron not only can provide yellow dye, like yellow mellow or mellow yellow in the song, but it's got a very unique seasoning flavor to it. And there are a number of spices from the Middle Ages. We have, of course, salt and pepper, but and parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme are our herbs, among others. But for example, arugula. In Europe still today they call it rocket, and in the Middle Ages arugula was referred to as rocket. And we serve. I was able to roast a whole roasted suckling pig.
Oh, wow.
Over a fire.
Oh, cool.
It was pretty neat, and lots of cottages and stews, and of course desserts.
I was always surprised in the food that you prepared in the feast that how many more complex dishes there were than I ever imagined. You know, when I always thought before of medieval cooking, I thought simple things like that. No, just as complex and nuanced as anything that you find in a restaurant.
Interesting.
I have definitely made my own sausages. It's fun. It's a experience, and there are recipes that are printed that go back to ancient Rome, and all the way through the Middle Ages.
Wow, that is interesting. And I find it, you know, interesting too. I guess I would have thought as well that it would be less nuanced, very simple cooking. But it can be. But then we can have stuff today even that's simple, but. You know, there's obviously a lot of dishes there's a lot that goes into the preparation.
I recognized that I was out of my depth very quickly in that space.
Well, and it's interesting too. Back then, they didn't have the refrigeration and this, you know, the sort of preservatives, so that added another level of.
In a lot of ways, they had to be more creative than we do because of that very thing.
Right. So not just the complexity of the recipe, if you will, but how to preserve and get those spices that would have to come from other parts of the world. Saffron didn't grow everywhere, for instance.
No, correct. Right.
You know,
it originated, I believe, in India, and then transferred to Spain, and we still get ours from Spain. A lot of places. I mean, obviously, you can go to the local grocery store and purchase it now, but in the Middle Ages, it was still a very valuable commodity, basically. And in everything we wear and everything the fighters wear, someone has to make those things. You can't go down to the local mall, or even you can go on Amazon. However, the folks that make these things often are in Europe. We have had in the past armor makers who were in Ukraine, and we can't get their wares right now, obviously, due to the conflict there.
Wow, yeah,
but there are folks that make the crowns that are being worn, and the helmets that are being worn, and the cloth hats. We have some fancy hats and hoods and veils. You'll see heraldic clothing, folks wearing their arms, coat of arms. Oh yeah. There's a herald on the field.
Who's that herald?
To be my husband.
Okay.
When we get to the finals, I have to go. One of the requirements of being a knight of the Crown Tournament, during the final round, all the knights go into the field to
Witness.
ensure and witness that the fight is fair and clean, that we have a fair winner. So when we get to the finals, I'll probably leave you and go in there.
But I can stand out here with you.
Okay.
I'm not a knight.
Okay.
And that is a tradition that we have. But the herald is announcing the fighters for this round. And on the list board, there are 6 left. So,
All right. right. Well,
or 6 individuals left, 3 separate bouts that will happen, and each match is best 2 out of 3.
gotcha. Okay. Well, this is going on until about 6 o'clock tonight, I believe. Is that right? 6 o'clock tonight. And then tomorrow it's going to pick up at
About 10 in the morning.
10 in the morning and go again all day.
Until 6.
Yeah.
Till 6. Okay. All day tomorrow.
Typically, we'd probably close a little bit, but it's open till 6, so yeah. We
Okay.
probably will shut down on Sunday about 4, just because the different tournament style, and we'll have about half as many of us tomorrow.
God, some people are, you come from all over, so some of them have to probably head back and get back home by.
Are heading back tonight.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. Well, come on out. Enjoy, the unique event that is going on here. It's open to whoever wants to come on down, and it's at the Holy Trinity Monastery in St. David.
And if someone happens to miss us and they are interested in things that are happening, they can look up sca.org. And that is our main society webpage. And they can lead you to our kingdom, which is Arizona, the Kingdom of Atenville.
All right, very good. SCA.org.
Yes.
And thank you both for being on with us. And we appreciate you coming out here and holding your event.
Thank you for coming out.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. It's our pleasure. And so come on out. It's going on today until 6 and tomorrow from about 10 until 4, 5, somewhere in there. Come out and enjoy it. It's well worth the trip, and I think you will find this very unique as I have. That's all for me, Brett Allen, live and local here on Cool FM in St. David.
So the fighters are saluting their ladies and the opponent's lady in this particular instance. And a salute is just to recognize by honor, and then they will commence fighting. And it is Sir Cosimo and Armiger Khalil.
All right.
Cosimo is a Italian persona, and Khalil is a Janissary, soon to be knighted. He is on vigil to become a knight.
All right.
Yeah. And he's apparently having a very good fighting game.
Yeah.